All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the fourth part of the show, we are going to talk about quarterback deals that teams could possibly regret. Obviously, there have been quarterbacks that have been paid recently, but there are some deals that maybe they don't necessarily work out. So let's kind of get into some of the deals. So we did talk about Trevor Lawrence during the show today. We did go over the deal that he got on a previous show. That's one I'd probably put in that category, that the Jags could possibly regret it. Now, I still think Trevor Lawrence is going to be good. Well, and, 2022, the Jags went on that run towards the end of the year. They made the playoffs. That was his best season. And for me, I kind of throw out his rookie season. Last year, he dealt with injuries. I feel like this is going to be a bounce back year for him. Now, the division's going to be tougher. I understand that. But having said that, he signed a 5-year, $275 million contract with $200 million guaranteed. That is a big contract. And look, like I said, 22 is his best year. They made the playoffs, but now we got to see a big jump here in 2024. This is year 4. Now, like I said, you could throw the rookie season out the window, but either way, it's still year 4. He's got to go out there and prove something. And I think he will. The Jaguars, they drafted a receiver. You got Travis Etienne running the football. Christian Kirk is still there. Evan Ingram has looked great since he's come over from the Giants. So they do have weapons on this offense. Now, hopefully Brian Thomas Jr. can become that number one receiver that they desire. Because, Christian Kirk, he's been a good receiver for them, but, do we look at him as a number one? So let's see how Trevor Lawrence is this year. But that's one deal that I could see maybe it doesn't pan out. And maybe what we've seen Trevor Lawrence be these last couple years, that's just, you get to the second round of the playoffs, maybe that's as far as you're ever going to go with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. Then the second quarterback I do want to talk about. Now, actually, they're both coming off of significant injuries, but we'll go through both of them individually. So, individually, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins with the Falcons. Signed a 4-year contract, $100 million guaranteed. He's coming off of an Achilles injury. That's one that maybe that doesn't work out either. Now, I think, I say there's potential of it not working out, but with Kirk Cousins, I think he'll put up good numbers this year. But I think in the long term, this could be something that doesn't work out. Because, Kirk Cousins is getting older. Are the wheels going to fall off of it? I mean, last year he got hurt, but, he's put up good regular seasons over the course of his career. And maybe, down the line, I mean, eventually, yeah, you're getting up there in age. I mean, eventually, yeah, you're going to, hit a wall and you're not going to be as effective. So, they paid him a lot of money. I mean, he could also get hurt again. It's possible. Now, the Falcons, they do have, in their eyes, their quarterback of the future, Michael Penix Jr., waiting for his opportunity. But, you gave Kirk Cousins a lot of money. And him coming off of an injury like that, maybe he doesn't play well this year. I have the Falcons winning the division, but yeah, maybe he doesn't play well this year. And then that contract's not going to look good. Now, I lean on the side that he is going to be good, but, there's a possibility that doesn't work out. Now, the other quarterback that's coming off an Achilles injury is Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers has that contract of 3 years, $112.5 million with $75 million guaranteed. Now, so far it hasn't worked out with the Jets because 4 plays, he went down, got hurt. It doesn't look good right now. But I've been positive on the Jets, and I think this is going to be the year that they break through and get back to the playoffs. But, with all the things going on with Rodgers and just the drama and how committed is he to playing football, there's many people that have questions about that. And the speculation on where he went because he had to skip out on minicamp. It doesn't look good right now for the Jets. This is a big year for the Jets. Because if they don't get it done this year, Robert Saleh is going to be out. Joe Douglas is going to be out, most likely. They got to get it done. And because, listen, Rodgers could call it at any moment. I mean, he wants to play. Depending on how this year goes, he's going to continue to play. But if he gets hurt again, he's not going to want to play anymore. Now, it depends on what the injury is, but he's not going to want to play. And then the Jets are left with, throw their hands up, what do we do now? But they'd have to start over. And I just think this team is too talented to be, just left in the dust. Like the last 2 years, they finished 7-10. If they could get better quarterback play, this team should make the playoffs. Because they have the defense, you have the running game, you hope the offensive line is improved. You got Garrett Wilson. The receiving core should be better around him. And if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy and the offensive line can block for him, this team should be good. But we got to wait and see. Now, this one's a big one. Daniel Jones. They already regret this contract that the Giants gave him. And at the time, they thought they were doing the right thing. Now, this is a 4-year, $160 million contract, $92 million guaranteed. Now, they can get out from under this contract, but this was a bad contract. But I feel like the Giants just were caught in between a rock and a hard place with this because, Daniel Jones just won them a playoff game. But, I mean, was he really the answer? I mean, they'll tell you that they believe he's the answer, but then you hear that they tried to move up and take Drake May. So, it's a quarterback, and they need that position. That's the most important position. I said this earlier in the show. So that contract is, it's not working out. Like the other ones, like they still have a chance to work. Like Aaron Rodgers should go out there and have a really good year. Trevor Lawrence could go out there, have a really good year. Kirk Cousins, coming off of the injury. With this one, I don't know. I mean, could Daniel Jones go out there and surprise us? Yeah, but I mean, as a Giant fan, I just don't really have the confidence. That's I mean, maybe I'm biased because I'm a fan, but I don't see it. I mean, many people who aren't Giant fans don't see it either. So I just that was a mistake. That contract was a mistake, and they should have maybe prioritized bringing back Saquon Barkley. But then you risk losing Daniel Jones, and then it's like, well, who's going to be able to play quarterback then? So I don't know. But the other thing too is it's not even just a play. It's injuries again. He's dealt with a ton of injuries. Last year, neck injury, and then he tore his ACL. Dealt with a neck injury in 21. In 2020, he missed games. The only season that he stayed healthy was 22. Even his rookie season, he was hurt. So, yeah, it was a tough call for the Giants at the time, but again, they thought they were doing the right thing, but last year they took a massive step back. For Giant fans, they were hoping that they were going to that was going to be a building block, but no, the structure. We talk about structure today. The structure ended up getting torn down. So, anyways, but let me know what you guys think, though. Those are the ones that I wanted to focus on. So Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones. We'll see how 2024 pans out. Does Trevor Lawrence have a bounce back season? How did the quarterbacks that got hurt, how do they bounce back? Let me know what you guys think about those four guys. How do you see them performing in 2024? So we're going to take our final break. We did talk about the Giants for a little bit, but we're going to talk about them some more when we come back. We're going to talk about the feud between rookie wide receiver Malik Nabers and Cowboys defensive back Trayvon Diggs. So we'll get into that when we come back from our final break of the show. So with that being said, stick around for one final time today, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.